Hey, what's up? What's up, good people? This is FiredUp KC. We are live here. Oh man, I got two awesome guests here, smarter than me, way smarter than me. This guys are entrepreneurs. They have their own websites out and they got things going. So I got my main man Roy Scott here. I got Gharib Gharibi here. And I forgot to mention that Roy Scott was actually on, what is it called? Shark Tank. He was actually on Shark Tank. I forgot to mention that in the ad, but you guys know that he was on Shark Tank. And man, it's about to get started. So I'm about to get this started real quick. Let him know where you are, Roy Scott, because your resume is phenomenal. Because you were on Shark Tank and you also won the 2018 Rainier Institute of Entrepreneurship in 2018.
Absolutely.
And tell me, who is Roy Scott? Let people know who you are.
Yeah, Roy Scott is a man that's passionate about life, passionate about family, passionate about God, and bringing my business to life, man. So born and raised here in Kansas City, heavily influenced by the hip hop culture.
Yes.
As a kid, was on the other side of the tracks, but turned my life around, and now I'm doing healthy hip hop for kids and we're a startup tech company.
Wow. That's like revolutionizing hip hop. Like that's like having your own trend, And I love that. That's what this show is all about, doing something that's different, but in your own way,
Absolutely.
right? So Gharib Gharibi, tell them. I've known you since 2016 because actually people do not know this, but I'm gonna let them know. You gave me a tour. You were an ambassador, international ambassador when I came here in 2016. You gave me a tour, and I was like, yo, I want to be an ambassador. And the next year, 2017, I was an ambassador, right?
Yeah, you were an amazing one.
Yeah, I was there for like a semester, but I had something go on, but I had to leave. But then I'm back. But let me tell people about you. So you have your, what was it called before?
It was called Deep Lens.
Deep Lens, now it's Owlix. And it's basically,
now it's Owlix,
it's a glass or a website that.
Well, it's basically a headset, so it's an actual device. It's a headset that has glasses and a camera. That camera is equipped with some AI algorithms that we developed at our lab here at UMKC, and it's able to describe basically the word for blind people or people who are visually impaired, to help them become more independent doing basic things.
Wow, yeah.
We are blessed to have our vision, and it's really cool. And sometimes we take all the blessings we have for granted.
Yeah.
But things like even telling what time it is, it could be really very difficult for blind people. We never think about it.
That is true.
So,
you see, so let people know. So the Rainier Institute, you are the 2019. You are the recent one, right? You just won that. So 2018, 2019, all in the house. The two champions are in the house today. So, yo, let people know, who is Gharib Gharibi? Who is Gharib Gharibi?
So Gharib Gharibi is a very simple guy who is very passionate, very passionate about life, technology, and helping others.
Okay.
And I try just to make sure that whatever I learn, it's actually helpful for other people and can be implemented in the real world for a good cause. A lot of work that is done by PhD or academia usually it's just published on papers and goes online, and that's it. So you gotta make sure that whatever you do, you like it, you love it, and it helps someone else. So
we are gonna get into that because I love that mindset. Where you from? Let people know where you're from, so that way they know.
It's actually complicated. Originally, my dad is from Syria. My mom is from Russia.
Okay.
But I grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Wow, it's complicated. It's like all over. You are what is it called? The United Nations. You are one person.
Whenever someone asks me what's your culture shock, I'm like, I don't know, man. I had so many culture shocks when I was little.
Wow, that's insane. Okay, let me get right back. So Roy Scott, so why hip hop? Why do you think there's a need for it to be clean hip hop? Why do you think you are the person to do that? Why is that your call?
Well, kind of my story. So again, I know how influential hip hop is just on people, period, especially on kids. And we were just talking about this before we started the show, how he can basically probably remember a song from 20 years ago.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's hard to remember what you learned in school a couple weeks ago.
True.
So first we started with hip hop, and I was that kid who was I was in love with the music. I was in love with the culture.
Yes.
And I didn't have a lot of guidance around me. So I grew up and made some poor decisions.
Exactly.
After I graduated high school, I had an opportunity to play Division I basketball. And go to college, and I was like, no, I'm gonna skip all that and I'm gonna pursue being a street rapper. So wasn't the smartest decision. But kind of on that journey, I had my wake up call when I was picking up my son. He was about 5 years old at the time. His name is Justice. And I picked him up from school. He started repeating my lyrics word for word. Those lyrics were promoting drugs, violence, degrading women. And so that was my light bulb moment that, you know what, I can't do this anymore. and that inspired me to create a positive alternative, which is healthy hip hop. And kind of like what you said, really no one was doing it. I'm kind of in my own lane. You got a couple out there, like you got Kids Bop, but and I'm not knocking them because they've been successful, but it's still a little watered down. Like our stuff, we maintain the integrity of the culture, so our music and our programming is thorough. It's what the kids like, but it's all clean cut. So we started primarily going into schools, doing a lot of live events, doing professional development. Big picture that wasn't scalable, so we pivoted to a tech company. And so now we got an online platform that educators use in the classroom to live stream music and video content to help support their curriculum. And the next phase is we're launching a mobile app that's similar to TikTok, where kids can create custom video content, but in a safer environment for children.
Whoa, okay. I just lost focus. Like you were just like, man, that's a lot. I was just like, dang, that's a lot. Dang, that's impactful. And the thing is this, Kinsley has so much talent, and like people do not know that. And I met you at OHUB. That was last 2 weeks ago. Couple weeks ago. And I was like, yeah, we gotta connect. And then when you told me your show, I was like, yo, you gotta come to my show. Like you gotta come to my. And I want to say this, so people who maybe the color is a little bit different, but he's matching. His hat and his sweater is matching. It's like he's on flick. He's on flick. Okay. So Gharib, let me know. So like you said, basically there are a lot of professors on campus who have their their research going on, but it's more of like you write a paper and it's over. But you were like, I want to actually make this happen and actually bring it to life. What was that for you? Why do you think it was your thing to do? Why?
Well, it has always been my thing throughout life.
Okay.
I always loved making things and creating things. It's actually started even when I was very little. Especially in middle school, I created, I think, my first little business. I created a website before Expedia or Booking.com existed.
Wow.
So I created a website where I listed a lot of hotels and restaurants in my city manually. So I had to go and take pictures of them and list their information on the website, and I ended up selling that website.
How much did you make? A lot of money?
Decent amount.
A decent amount of money.
But I always loved computers. I actually something a lot of people don't know about me is I went to med school after high school.
Whoa.
But after 1 year and a half, I dropped out. I knew that was not my thing. I was always passionate about technology and computers. So I loved always to create things that will help others, that will do something to other people.
Exactly.
You look around you. I'm thankful and grateful that I grew up in a very good and amazing environment, amazing family, but I was blessed in so many other things that other people did not have. So I wanted to make sure that other people also have some good opportunities in life. So specifically Deep Lens or Owlix started because I wanted to actually help a friend of mine.
Wow.
So
wow.
I think that's why.
Wow, that's a huge why. I want to say this though. I have a joke. A friend of mine was actually in the same competition that you were in, and then I think he had something. He created something, and when you presented your stuff, you had like an app, and you scanned it, and it says this item. He was like, well, why am I here? Like, what am I here for? This guy out here is like doing a lot, And I'm like, man, that cracked me up because I was actually at that event, and I was like, man, this is next level, And I mean, this generation, it's when I see people like both of you, I'm like, man, I'm not smart. I can't even do this.
Well, no, I think you're smart. You're an outstanding person. I really love you, Zeke. I know you before this program, and I just love you. Every time I see you, I'm super happy. And you're always active and you're always alive. I love that smile on you. You're always smiling. That's what's important.
That's
a lot of people are very smart in books, but when it comes to life, they're like just dumb.
Exactly. That's a fact too. Well, let me do this. So, Roy Scott, your app. What is the vision for your app? Where do you see it going so far? Because you started, you won. Oh, tell us about the Shark Tank event. Because like that. You told me I want people to hear about it, so that way, because I want people. I heard. I was like, whoa, what happened? Let us know.
Yeah, so it was good and bad. So in 2015 we pitched. September 2015 we pitched on Shark Tank, and we successfully closed a deal with Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, one of the hardest sharks to close.
Wow.
And he was committing a $500,000 investment to our company.
Wow.
And so we knew more important than this deal that once this episode airs, this is going to be our national exposure. This is our tipping point. Well, only to have our episode blocked from airing and our deal pulled off the table because ABC, the network that Shark Tank comes on, is owned by Disney. And they looked at our children's programming as competition.
Wow.
So welcome to Hollywood is what we were told.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they basically took a crap on us.
Dang.
So the best and worst validation. So Disney sees us as a threat, so we're on to something, but we just lost our national exposure and we just lost our deal with Mr. Wonderful.
Wow.
And so after that, that's when I made the pivot. I was like, well, how are we gonna get to the next level? And that's when I got in the trenches of all the entrepreneurial resources that Kansas City had to offer.
Yes.
Secured about $100,000 in grants to develop our technology.
Exactly.
So then we tested it, and now we're actually doing a beta test right now. Getting prepared to do a full launch in 2020. So it's been a journey. So yeah, that Shark Tank deal was. I can laugh about it now, but yeah, man, I was
back then.
Yeah, I was depressed when I got the news, and ironically enough, you know where Walt Disney's from? He's originally from
Kansas City.
City.
Yes. Our mascot is actually designed by Walt Disney.
Yeah. So he's originally from Kansas City. So when I got the news, I was depressed. I'm watching Netflix on my couch. I didn't get up for about a week, and I was watching a movie that came on called Walt Before Mickey.
Oh, wow.
And it talked about his journey as an entrepreneur and how he had similar moments where he got close, he got rejected, but he stayed resilient until Disney became what it is today.
Wow.
And he said, you never know what you're made of until you respond to getting kicked in the teeth. And,
wow.
We had just got Mickey Mouse's big yellow boot
right
in the face. And so
wow.
now that, again, it just charged us up. Now I'm fired up.
Yes, let's go. We'll fire it up.
They just put gas on the fire, so we're gonna go get it.
Whoa, well, that is inspiring its own, man. I mean, for you to get to that point where you're like, I'm at the peak, and then it's just like, psh, I'm the low. What was that? What was that mindset for you? What was that time like for you? Because I know there are people out there who have had a big vision, and they think they kept to that first step, and it kind of pulled out of them. What was one thing that actually kept you going for you to keep?
Well, it was just my faith.
Yeah.
It was my faith. I knew I had the vision in my mind and my heart, and I had faith. We're gonna get there. It's just gonna take some true resilience to get there. So you're right. That was basically our mountain top. We're like, man, we here. We about to be on.
Yes.
To basically getting slam dunked in a trash can. So yeah, it just was faith, man. I had just that much belief in what we were doing. I was like, man, we're gonna get there. This is part of the story.
Exactly.
And we got to keep pushing forward. So faith, it was everything for me.
Wow. Well, Gharib, let us know. So, what is the vision for Owlix? Why did you actually change the name, and what is the vision for it now?
It's funny, we changed the name because there's another product in the market called Deep Lens, and it's owned by Amazon. We did not know about it until we already won the
oh dang! Wow.
competition. So we don't want to go into any legal issues or things like that. It's already a registered trademark and everything. But we totally came up with that name and we loved it. But yeah, anyways. And now Owlix is from Owls. And then IX represents 9 amazing features that the first release of the product will have.
Oh, wow.
And the vision is to make it a personal assistant that will help blind people or people who are visually impaired to become as much as independent as possible.
Wow.
So yeah, we just want them to be able to carry out their daily tasks independently.
Wow. And I just want to say this too, like someone who's from the Middle East and its diversity, you have kept the entrepreneurship spirit, because I know you are someone who is, you don't let that box cover you as I'm a professor or a PhD student. You've always been with the students. You are either your international student ambassador or you are working with the students, and that's something that I really love about you. And I want to say this: what is one advice you can give to younger people who are maybe in classes today who are trying to get a degree? What is one thing you would say that has helped you in pushing through that you think anyone needs to know, like to push their passion forward?
Well, I would say really entrepreneurship is about creative thinking.
Okay.
And a lot of people, everybody's not going to necessarily be an entrepreneur, but everybody can be a creative thinker.
True.
So my thing is just, man, like I said, think outside the box, identify a problem and provide a solution.
Exactly.
That's really entrepreneurship. And it is finding what you love to do and then acting on that and trying to find a way to generate revenue off what you're passionate about.
Wow. What do you think, Gharib?
I think you have, my advice would be to keep experimenting, ruin things, try different things. It's really important to follow your intuition and what you love and what you really want to do. Do not try to be and to do the safe things all the time.
Yes.
Just go out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And this is specifically true for people who are younger.
Okay.
So undergraduates, it's really safe for you to experiment with different things and follow different dreams, because you still have enough time ahead of you to change your career entirely later in life. So yeah, I went into med school. After 1.5 years, I decided that I knew that this is not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I was able to afford quitting out and leaving med school, dropping out at that time, you know.
Wow.
So I just dropped out and followed what I really love. So follow your intuition. Your heart somehow already knows what you really want to do. Experiment and do the things that you want to, that you really love, because you'll wake up every single day in your life, you know what you want to do and what you want to pursue. So that's really important for.
I mean, I want to piggyback on when you say ruin things. I love that. I want people to hear that, ruin things. Because I think people are so scared of failure that they never actually try. And you saying that is actually, it's one of the things I reinforce in this show. Like, failure is important. You have to actually fail to find out who you are. You know, the people who are, you know, at the top today actually failed most times. Failed a lot of times. Elon Musk, you know, when it comes to Martin Luther King, they all failed, but they never talk about the failures, you know. And that's one thing I want us to talk about too. Like, what do you think about failure too? What is your mindset about failure?
Well, my mindset is it's only learning. There's no failing. You know, so you might make mistakes, you may fail on your road, but I think it's just a learning experience for you. So you learn from it and you keep pushing forward. The issue is that, like I said, a lot of the time people are scared to fail, so they don't try, or when they fail, they quit. So you just gotta keep going. Even if you fail, that doesn't mean it's over for you. You just gotta take a different direction or take a different approach and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. What do you think? You've already said a little bit about it, but touch up on more.
It was actually growing up, I reached a very comfortable level where I only knew winning. That's why I look at it back, and I was sometime even very comfortable with that, and I was very proud of it. I was always at the top of the class. I always won all the competitions. But at one level, you just get bored and you are not excited about what you do anymore.
Yes.
And I learned that after one of the first failures, but as you said, it was a great learning experiment.
Exactly.
If you don't go down, if you don't feel really like reach the bottom of your life, it will be really difficult to move forward. When we are at that point, we really get a whole new level of energy, a whole new level of spiritual thinking and beliefs that really sharpen us to go stronger and faster and better in life.
Yes.
So that's really important.
You might want to come closer to the mic so
yes,
that people can hear you and be like, yo, what's going on? That's fantastic, man. I mean, I just, my thing is this. I always believe, I don't know if you guys believe with me, but I believe that, you know, for you to get to the top, you have to be around people who are going to the top. You know, choose people you want to hang around with, which is a great thing that people actually put aside because they don't see that. They think I can just hang around with anyone and make it up, you know. What has that been for you? Do you have a starting connect group that actually, or let me say a friend group that you think have been able to elevate you to where you are today?
Yeah, for me, it was about having the right mentors, the right advisors. So I had to form an advisory board. Kind of what I learned on my entrepreneurship journey was I had to put together a strong advisory board. So I'm working with gentlemen like Davion Ross, who's founder of Shot Tracker, has a strong body of work, who's exited companies, who's raised lots of money. You know, surrounding myself with people like that. So again, I can learn and I can, like I said, position myself to, you know, you want to be around what you are trying to achieve. And so that's what I've been surrounding myself as far as my advisory board, even with my newest co-founder I brought on board. We share the same mindset and we're trying to elevate each other, and it's all about being around people with the right mindset and the right body of work.
Yes. What do you think, Gary?
That's very true, and we have this saying that says, "Tell me who your friends are, I tell you who you are."
Yes, that's true.
Right?
That is true. That's
so
true.
you always, and we also they say that the rotten apple makes the rest of the apples around it also like it's rotten, and that's also true for success. If you really want to be successful, you have to hang out with more successful friends. They will push you forward. They will make you feel that you gotta work harder. You have to work harder. You should do something.
Yes.
It's different when you hang out with someone else who's not really educated, or they don't really care about important things that you care about. It'll be really very difficult to move forward. You need always someone to motivate you.
And
Yeah.
And that is so true, because you have your friend group who are not motivated, who are saying when you bring up something, they say it's what was it called, the scheme, what is it, the thing called, I forgot the name, where it's like the people are Ponzi scheme, right? Where you have something you want to do and they say they've done it already before. Why do you think you want to do it? Why do you think it's your thing to do? And people always ask you questions you can't even answer. You're like, I don't know, I just want to do it. And those kind of people are people you don't want to have around.
One small thing there is that I had some kind of friends, and they actually were genuinely good people.
Exactly.
They just did not care. They did not have enough great mentors in their life to tell them, hey, what you're doing is wrong. You have to focus on your education. You have to focus on what you do.
Yes.
So those type of friends, they're actually genuinely good, but they lacked proper guidance and proper education, proper mentorship. So I'll try to pull them with me, to tell them what to show them, or sometimes to guide them, advise them, give them some little advice. But there are some other people who are genuinely bad. They don't want you to succeed.
Exactly.
They are super jealous. They're full of jealousy and the haters.
Yes, the haters.
You want to
Sometimes
avoid
those are the
those
closest people to you. You don't even know.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
that's
want
true.
to avoid those people.
That's true.
Straight up.
Let me start with you. So when people hear about startups, is this a big word? Being an entrepreneur is this big word? They don't know where to start. You already have your company started up. What was that? What was your step to step? What was that like? How did you get started?
You have to have something that you really care about and you're really passionate about.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. Now there are a lot of things and concepts in the startup world, the entrepreneurship thing, and I believe that you can even be an entrepreneur even if you don't have an idea at all.
Yes.
But when it comes to something that you really want to build and make your own company and all startup, in order to succeed, you have to have something that you believe in, right?
Exactly.
So you have to have a great goal that you pursue. You wake up every day in the morning, or even don't sleep at night, thinking that you want to do that thing because you care about it, right?
Yes.
So the first thing that really sharpens you is that I care about this thing and I want to make it happen.
Yes.
So that's the most important thing when it comes to startups.
What do you think?
So the question was, what's the most important?
Yes. What is a lot of people when they think about startups, it's this big word, and they don't ever start because they think, I don't know A, B, C to D. What do you think is maybe the first step that actually can make it look easier and start up immediately?
Well, there's nothing that's gonna make it look easier, because startups are extremely challenging.
Yes.
It's very hard. That's why a lot of people never start up.
True.
You know what I mean? So what I would say is there's a lot of resources out there right now, and there's a lot of like educational material and programs. For example, like you can do startup weekends. So like Techstars or stuff like that, they do startup weekends where you kind of come in, work on an idea and maybe build like a prototype on an Envision app or something like that. But I would say really start small and work fast. Have the big picture in mind, but be willing to start very small and then take the steps. A lot of people want to see that end result, but don't want to go through the process, because the process is long and hard. They say you're gonna work 15 years on a project to be an overnight success. You know what I mean? So you're gonna work on that for a minute. So I would say definitely identify your purpose and passion. That's first and foremost, and then get educated and start going to these startup weekends, start going through these pre-accelerator programs. There's so much out there, and there's a lot of funding. For example, like the Rainier Institute Challenge in Kansas City. There's Digital Sandbox that'll give you a $20,000 grant to develop the early phases of your technology. Go through like a Kaufman Fast Track program. I went through Kaufman Fast Track. So after Shark Tank, that failure, I went through Kaufman Fast Track. I did Digital Sandbox. I did Lean Lab, Launch KC. I kind of just worked the system. So really get entrenched in your local entrepreneurial system, and then kind of take it from there.
Okay. How do you? I mean, you guys going to touch upon it. How do you find your passion? How do you define what that is for yourself? How do you find this is one thing I want to do all my life? How does that start for you? How did you start in that path?
Yeah, I think my man hit on it. It's just really what's in your heart. I think in your heart and your mind, like what you love to do. You just got to tap into it. Really about you really got to find yourself first. You got to love yourself, believe in yourself, and really find yourself first, and then I think those things come to you in life. You start discovering, what you love and what you want to do in life. I think that's kind of it's really a self-discovery before you can even get into being an entrepreneur, doing anything in life. I think you got to really find that out.
What do you think, Gharib?
I totally agree with what he just said. It's a self-discovery.
Yes.
That's why I say the ruin things and experiment with things. Specifically for college kids, I'll say just take as many diverse courses as possible.
Yes.
A lot of these courses. Sometimes you'll just take one course and you're like, wow, this is really fascinating. I like this literacy course, you know?
Wow, yeah.
And that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So sometimes you never know where your actual passion is until you try it. So you have to keep trying.
Yes, yeah, that's important. I believe that 100% because people never start because they think it's going to be this one big thing. A voice is going to say, this is your thing. But it's never a voice. No one is going to tell you that. You start a path and something else happens. You just go through it and then life just starts happening. And I think when I had the chancellor here, he said one thing to me. He said that never get stuck in one door. Just keep going and doors are open for you. Never think it's going to be one thing. No, it's not going to be one thing. There's a lot of things you can do, you know. And I mean, today there's a lot of entrepreneurs everywhere. Everyone is trying to be that entrepreneur. Everyone trying to do something different. You know, do you guys have books you read, or who motivates you? What inspires you to do what you do? Let me start with you, Gary. What inspires you? What motivates you?
Well, my technology inspires me.
Okay. That's a good one.
Inspire yourself.
Self-inspired.
It's an AI, right? And the main goal behind AI is that it teaches itself and grows better every day. So I read a lot, and there's a lot of different books that I enjoy reading in different areas, not only entrepreneurship. Actually, in entrepreneurship, that's the least thing I read about. I don't know why, but I'm focusing on my technology without looking at the competitors at the moment.
Exactly, yes.
I'm really focusing that it really works and it really can achieve the goal that I build it to solve, or the problem to solve. So that's what I actually had. A couple of UMKC students who are visually impaired. They tried the technology and they're like, that smile on their face when that headset first narrated or read something. That's what really reminds me of like, what you're doing is really great. It's like one of those videos you watch and you like to start crying. You know? But, I think I'm lucky that I have found something. It's not only creative, but it's also noble to say. So same thing applies to our education. I think education is critical, right? And it's the core of our life and our future. So
what motivates you? What inspires you?
I don't talk about it much, but really, this is a very spiritual journey for me. And I think the most thing I stand on is just the Word of God. You know, so I'll stay deep in that. I'll stay studying that strong, and that's what keeps. That's like when I said earlier, my faith. That keeps me pushing strong. But I have read a few entrepreneurship books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read that. There's one called Pitching Hacks that I really like. That kind of talks about your elevator pitch, your high concept pitch, etc. But for me, it's really just a strong spiritual belief and faith that just keeps me going.
Yeah, wow, that's fantastic. Let me ask you guys, what is life after winning 20 grand? Is it 20 grand you guys won? What do you guys do with it? You guys go and like pop champagne and like spend it all and like get what do you guys do with the money? You guys get party?
Well, see, the thing is, and I know is that when you're raising money like 20 grand, it seems like something, but that's not a lot of money. That's
oh, really? I need just give me 20 grand. I'll know when I get it.
Yeah, 20 grand. I mean, when you started, you have a startup company, especially a tech company. I mean, 20 grand is. I'm not going to complain, especially because it was a grant, so it's non-dilutive, so there's no equity involved. But 20 grand doesn't go very far, to be honest with you. I mean, so we put it all towards our technology. So we put it all towards development. To give you an example, a lot of the price, like stuff, is more affordable now because more technology, more software is available. So it doesn't cost as much to build an app today as it maybe did 5 or 10 years ago.
True.
But you're still probably looking at, 150 grand, to really fully flesh out a mobile application. Unless you develop on your own. So you might develop your own technology. And if you do your own development, you're gonna be able to do it better because you know how to work all the, if it's Unity or if it's whatever the software you're using. But I'm not IT savvy, so I got the vision, but I had to hire a firm to do it for me. So for me, it cost me 150 grand or more. For G, it might be less because he actually is developing it.
So he probably still has the money with him. See, what I was thinking is this. If I had 20 grand, like I just buy this room and put a sign outside. Do not come in unless you're on the show.
Yeah.
I just buy the whole room. I didn't know it was that little, but let us know.
Actually, I want to thank UMKC because actually we won the Renewal Institute challenge, and we also won the entrepreneurship quest.
Oh wow!
So the entrepreneurship quest, we also won another 15,000.
Oh wow! So you got money. You got all the money because you know how to build an app. So like you gotta give me some check.
But it's actually not a lot of money at all.
Yeah.
It's almost 90% we will spend it on legal paperwork for a patent, for filing a patent.
Oh yeah, patents get
So
expensive too,
it's
especially
like
for what you're doing.
we did not pay for marketing, we did not hire anyone else, we did not pay anything for prototyping or anything. All that is going to go towards a patent. You know?
Wow.
So that's crazy. It sounds like a lot to party. Maybe you can.
That's a lot of. Yeah, you could. That's a lot of things you
money
can do
to
with
party,
20
but
grand. You know what I mean? If I go 20 grand, they know me the whole Westport. You know what I mean? But that's on the side. Anyways, we're almost at the end of the show, but I want to do this. Tell people 2 things that no one knows about you. 2 things no one knows about you. Not no one.
Yeah.
People, maybe your friends know, but like the world doesn't know because this is global.
I got you. Yeah, global over here. Well, 2 things. One is that, so when I was doing my gangster rap stuff, I started with Tech Nine many years ago.
Oh wow!
And so we did a song together called Misery.
Oh wow! What? That got me up. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
so my rap name back then was Mac James.
Okay.
And so Mac James at Tech Nine was called Misery. Yeah, you look it up. It's on YouTube.
Wow. Okay.
It's called Misery. The other thing is that so I was on the same label. It was called Midwest Side Records.
Okay.
It was run by a gentleman named Diamond Shields. Rest in peace. He actually passed away not too long ago. But he was like the Kansas City version of like Master P. So he was the dude that was hustling but putting his money into the music. And we actually had a deal on the table with Sony. Had a record deal on the table with Sony.
Wow.
But he turned it down.
Dang.
He turned it down because at the time he was having so much street money. He didn't want to turn it over legit. So he turned the deal down.
Wow.
And he did the same thing actually with Tech Nine because him and Tech, they were living with Quincy Jones and his son QD3. They was living with him in California. Warner Brothers was starting their first urban side of the label, and Tech Nine was their first artist. And he actually turned down that deal as well.
Oh Lord,
so,
what?
So,
dang. That's something definitely no one knows about. Let us know, what are the 2 things no one knows about you? Not no one. The world does not know about Gharib Gharibi.
I don't know. You got me on card.
You can just say, I probably don't know a lot of things about you, so you just say something you think, I do not know about you.
I don't know. A lot of people think they don't know that I play karate.
I did not know that.
You knew that.
I probably did a long time ago, but now you reminded me. So you play.
I already got my first black belt when I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
I just started a new style since I came to Kansas City in 2014, and now I'm brown belt in that style.
Oh dang.
So
you tough too, huh?
Yeah, so you tough. So if I get real feisty, you get me down, or?
Not really.
It depends on the situation.
I like it. I like karate. It's a way to not only stay fit, but also try to avoid such situations. You know?
Hey, if I do new karate, I'll go out beating everybody. I just go out there like, yo, you want to fight today?
Actually, no. You elevate when you know that you're good at something. You elevate yourself to a higher level, emotionally and spiritually and physically. So when you see someone trying to fight with you and you know that you can't get them down, you'll be just like, whatever.
I mean, people don't fight me normally, but if I had karate, I'll fight people all the time.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean?
That's why I try not to get drunk.
I'll be out in the street like, yo, you want to go? But I mean, that's fantastic. Let me do this before we do our segment called Drop Line. You guys need to hear the drop line because we're about to get her down. But let me do this. So what is one thing you want to tell a student, a young person out there today who's trying to make impact but do not know what to do? I know you guys have touched a little about it, but just say, what is your one word? What is one thing you want to tell them today? Someone out there who's trying to do something different but maybe don't know what to do or they're stuck.
You're saying one word?
Yeah, one word or what you believe helps.
Just perseverance.
Yes, okay.
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
That'd be my one word.
Well, what's your one word? someone out there who's just trying to make it happen, and it's not. It seems like everything is turning around.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just
There it
do
is.
it.
Just
Just
do
do it. I love that. Okay, cool. We're gonna do a segment called Drop Line, and it's basically. So I'm gonna explain it, right? So it's more of like it's a freestyle rap, but it's not like a rap, but it's more of like a 2-word rap where I say I'm in a studio without a mic, drop a line, and then you go, right? And there's no, I don't have a beat, I haven't gotten a beat yet, but
You
I'm
should
trying-
start first, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna start first. Yeah, he's gonna because he's a rapper. Yeah, so it's basically it's gonna be 2 words. You don't have to rap like a whole line. It's not today's not the EP version, but it's just 2 lines, 2 lines, right? So if you miss on the beat, you go out. So you wait. We're gonna have a champion.
I can't go out now.
No, not go out. Not go out. No. So if you miss a bit, you lose that round, and then the last 2 people fight it out, and we got a champion.
So you gotta say. So you're saying I'm in the studio without a mic, so you gotta say something like that.
Something like that, or something that you can just say. I gotta watch all the time. It has to rhyme some way, but it
has to rhyme. That didn't rhyme.
Not like rhyme. Not like rhyme in terms of
Okay.
words, but it has to be like something like you are in a university without the books, or in a class without the books. Something those things. Not like a rhyme, because I can't rhyme.
Okay,
I don't know. I'm off key, whatever it is called. But okay, let's go. So I'm gonna start, and it's gonna go like to you, and then back. So start thinking when I start saying stuff. I'm gonna start what I already said. Okay, I'm gonna go. So this is what can happen. So when I say, I say drop line. So when you say drop line, that means the next person has to say something. If you do something, you're out. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna do the thing I already said. I'm in the studio without a mic. Drop line.
I'm on the beach without a towel. Drop mic.
I'm in a class without a mic, drop line.
I'm on a laptop without a keys. Drop line.
I'm at a buffet without a plate. Drop line.
I'm in a car without a gas, drop line.
I'm in an app without a Google. Drop line.
I'm on a website without a .com. Drop line.
I'm on a phone without a number, drop line.
I lost.
No, you got it.
I didn't know what to say.
You guys got it. You guys got it. So you guys go back to back. Back to back.
Okay.
You want to come closer to the mic so people can hear your drop line. They want to hear it because this might drop on YouTube. You know what I mean? And you be famous. You want to spit your best lyrics. You know what I mean?
Best lyrics.
All right, you
okay.
start.
I'm at a school without a teacher. Drop line.
I'm a teacher without students, drop line.
I'm students without a teacher. Drop line.
I'm a student without a books, drop line.
I'm a book without a word. Drop line.
I'm a word without meaning, drop line.
You got a champion. Gharib Gharibi is a drop line champion, the drop line king. He said he could have rap, and he won the game.
bars,
Look at
man.
that.
I
Hey,
think something has no meaning.
go check Gharib Gharibi on YouTube. He has a rap single coming out real soon. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's do this. Where can people catch you guys at? Where can they catch you at on social media?
Instagram is just healthy.hiphop. So I mean that's pretty much on all the social medias. Or personally, Roy Scott.
Okay.
.boycott.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roy Scott, that boycott. And also, this is his look. So if you see the
Come on,
page,
man.
this is
Come
him.
on.
He came with the look. He kind of represent. You know what I mean? So you will not miss him on social media. Let him know, Gharib.
Great. Well, I'm on Twitter.
Okay.
So you can just go Gharib Gharibi.
Okay.
Owlix. You just Google Owlix and it will show up the first link. So you can learn more about our technology and get in contact with us.
Okay. And also, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a 20 grand. You guys might have to give me a tips. After the show, because I need that money.
Well, actually, the entrepreneurship quest is about to start.
Yes, about to start.
The proposal deadline is November 10 or 11, I believe.
Wow.
So
And that's for UMKC students only.
that's for UMKC students.
Oh,
Only.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna
Well,
come
okay.
through because I'm gonna chase you out. You already got your money. Come on now. Come on now. You out
I
here
don't know if I can
doing.
get in on that or not.
Now you are doing healthy hip hop, and you got a whole app coming out. No, we gotta let us eat. You gotta let us eat.
So what's your idea?
My idea. I'm right here. This is me right here. This is my idea. Drop line. I'm trying to
Drop line?
I'm trying to drop the drop line. Don't worry about it. This is the world. They're gonna steal it. You know what I mean? My ideas are private. I mean, okay, cool. We're at the end of the show, and man, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. And remember, please go to YouTube at FiredUp to subscribe. And hey, always stay fired up, pursue your purpose, and man, don't give up. Persistence. Just do it. All right. See you guys next time. Bye for now.
Peace.
Thank you.
Hey you guys, I'm Mel, so make sure you keep watching on Fired Up KC.
And I'm Reagan. Make sure you subscribe.